So I'm with Michael Coleman, the author of A Better Message on Ellenberg Tapes. And I'm really curious, why this book? Why now?
It's This is a culmination of 40 years in the radio and television industry, where my job essentially was to meet with clients, create spec spots or speculation spots to get them on the radio station. And throughout the years, it was just appeasing them. Radio doesn't work, television doesn't work, print ad doesn't work. And finally, I said, well, here's the reason. Let's listen to what you wrote. Most of these ads are about themselves, what they can do, how they are so good at this or that. But what does that have to do with me? The customer only cares, the potential listener, the potential client only cares about one thing: what your business, what your product, what your service can do for them. Otherwise, they're going to tune you out. They're either going to physically turn you off, switch the station, that clicker, and now you have this. We have media-induced ADD with this. Anything we want now. I want a compass. I want a flashlight. I want a phone. I want an email. I can do anything I want now. This, going back 30 years ago, it was just you and your car, and you had just switched to your secondary or tertiary radio station. Same with the television. Now, how many TV and radio stations? Now we have satellite. We don't even have to listen to commercials if we don't want to. So we now have the power. The audience has the immense power. Before, it was just coming there and you just had to sit there, and as you're driving at the traffic and your red light, and listen to it. And maybe an image would fly by and go. Now I can choose not to listen to any of this if I don't want to. But the thing is, a lot of times those ads are playing and we're hearing them, but they're not resonating. This is really what the book delves into, is about resonance theory. It's devised by Marshall McLuhan and Tony Schwartz back in the 1960s. Tony Schwartz was the guy who produced the Daisy ad in Lyndon Johnson's campaign against Barry Goldwater, considered probably one of the greatest, if not the greatest, television ad that had ever played. It only aired one time, and it was so powerful it became a news story after that. And that's really what this book moves into, is to, rather than me teach them all the time individually about how the industry works. Now, I'm not just talking about radio or television or online or on your phone. It's really all of these elements combined. And they're playing. How are they going to really resonate within the mind and the heart and even the soul of that potential customer? So it gets very psychological at that point.
Right. And in this world of multimedia, full immersion, where people are being bombarded with requests for attention from videos, vlogs, podcasts, roundtables, webinars, it's even more important now to break through the clutter and to have something that clearly differentiates you and your value proposition, and that speaks to the person on a more one-to-one level. So that
Exactly.
It's very timely, your book, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I think I was interviewed a few more times. One gentleman, he says, so the reason why you wrote this book is because of social media and post-COVID. It's like, not really. Just the fact that these things came along. Look, this thing may be obsolete in 2 years or 200 years. We may have some inner ear plants or just built into your glasses or a headphone or a headset or whatnot. It's no different than driving by in a billboard going by in the highway. It's no different from, look, every day we are exposed to, how many ads is it? Probably 3,000 to 5,000
Yes.
advertisements a day. People say, well, wait a minute, I don't even listen to television or radio. It says, no, this is a truck going by with their Home Depot logo or FedEx logo on the sign. Well, that's an ad. I mean, these are images to reinforce that they exist. And so that small hardware store or yoga studio doesn't have that money, doesn't have that time and the capability and the large staff in order to put those banners everywhere and to resonate into the minds of those potential customers. But they do have one thing now: social media. They have Facebook, they have Instagram, where they can get those messages out there. And this is where the paradigm has now changed, where it becomes content. Really, content. Was it Sumner Redstone said this, what, 30, 40 years ago, and it's been amplified by Steve Jobs and others. Say that content is king.